traditional sexual, psychological stereotypings of females begins the second the doctor says, "It's a girl." My auntie never told me that. Yes, I guess there are some things that you gotta learn on your own. It took me a while to realize I was different. It wasn't until I was grown, but when I did, I never really understood why my skin color was only considered beautiful on a white body. So I started showering a little bit longer than necessary in hopes to wash away not the color, but the hate. The hate that they seem to create, the hate that I seem to create. I came to a point where I didn't really know what was wrong or right. I didn't really know where I stood. Couldn't stand in front of a mirror, couldn't stand the way I looked. When I was 10, the boys at my school had nicknamed me Dirty Brownie. I've always really liked brownies, so... I understood that I couldn't tell my mother because she had her own struggle, so I had to put mine to the side for a little while. Land issues back home and abusive in-laws always seemed to topple the mean white boys. By the time I was 12, weekly waxing and threading appointments were a must. I was constantly reminded how my hair on my body was unflattering and unacceptable. I wished I found peace in that young body. My body was a grassland, sweet grass waiting to be braided. By the time I was 16, the showers started to sting. Apni zindagi vich sukoon la ke Naaz, then only will you see true beauty and peace, my mother would tell me. When I define beauty, I define my mother. Beauty of the mind, heart, and soul, strong and resilient. She left everything behind in the name of love. Came to a foreign place, the promised land they would call it. A place to grow, herself, her family, stolen land that I would one day call home. But in this place, they seem to fear those who are different. Fear works in really weird ways. It's crazy how something as simple as the color of my skin, my culture, my higher power could be seen as a warning sign. Something that I always considered peaceful was tied to violence and evil. Something that brought me serenity was looked at by such hatred by outsiders. To the world, the chunni on my head, the prayer beads that dance in between my grandma's fingers, the duas we call out to our qada were always seen as an act of war, weren't they? I was told in biology that snakes and spiders have spots in vibrant bodies when they're poisonous. In other words, color really meant danger, warning, do not touch, stay in fear of those of color. That's what I was. Young women of color are constantly looking for a lighthouse as if we're fishing in troubled waters, unable to see that we are the lighthouse. An ultraviolet ray of power, potential, and promise. My color is not a warning. I was ashamed of my skin, not really knowing that it was a fortune inherited by my ancestors. People that come from a land of rivers that run in this earth like fire. For them, I carry history on my backbone, lineage in my hips. My curly hair is a reminder for the privilege that was stripped between the stresses of two borders. For them, in each breath I carry pride. In each step I take, I will not wash away the melanin that drips from my skin like honey. My women are warriors. We are taught to be lovers, not fighters. But we will always fight for what we love, and that begins with ourselves.